Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew and welcome on back to Leo Gaming. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm having a fantastic day. And today we are back in Transport Fever 2. Like I promised in the last episode, we would be back here today on Friday. And what is today's plan? Well, let me tell you here in just a second. I just kind of wanted to let this train pull into the station first. Just because we are hovering over Thetford right now. And I've let the game run for a little bit. Let the game run after last episode for about a year in game, just to see how things would go and play out and to see if we would make a profit. As you can see in the bottom left corner, we're in a definite profit right now. Over the past year, we've made over 6 million. So what I'm first going to do, like we do at the start of every video, take a look at the finances. We still have a loan of $22 million and a half. And we are, according to our flowcharts here, making a total profit of about 5 million after the loan interest and such. Now, granted, we don't have any income coming from water or from air. One, we don't have air because it's not unlocked yet. It will be unlocked here in about a year's worth of in-game time. And water, we haven't started up yet because I really haven't looked into doing it much. So we most likely will look into that at some point. So we are going to go and repay a little bit of our loan just to go and get us just shy of another 5 million. So we're at 18.5 million in our current loan. Now, what is the plan for today's episode? Well, it doesn't really involve any sort of trains, if that's what you're thinking it does. As you most likely can tell by the thumbnail, we're actually going to be focusing a bit on bus connections. In fact, more specifically, we're going to be focusing on doing city connections via buses. Now, currently, we do have the intercity buses that are going between the different cities, but I think that it is a good point in time to go ahead and transition away from those buses. So we're going to go and move forward with that. And I'm going to go and get these towns all set up with their own dedicated bus lines. Now, some of them, like Darwin here, aren't going to be needing too much of a bus line. Like, Darwin is most likely going to need maybe a bus line that goes out to here, and over to here. So it'll be a short little bus line. But bus lines that we have, like, let's say, for instance, Woodstock here. Woodstock is growing pretty nicely right now. In fact, we can still cover all of the area. Some areas not so much, but we still are able to get to them. I am going to be doing some adjustments with the Woodstock line because right now I really do want to go and focus on that. I'm going to keep Woodstock Central because it is currently still connected to Emsworth, Rugby, and to Wood Green, if I recall correctly. Yeah, Wood Green with our tram lines down there. And Woodstock, I'm not too sure, but I might, and I'm kind of hesitant to do this, but I might upgrade it to be a tram system. So that will be something over the course of this episode that we'll focus on. So let's go and focus on these three cities first. Biggleswade, Darwin, and Thetford, like we focused on in the last episode. And then I'll kind of transition over into Rugby, back into Woodstock, then head over into Elmsworth. And possibly in the next episode, we'll get started with another train line and hopefully go from Rugby to Emsworth to Rugby to Wood Green and then heading out to Haley over here. So there's that. In terms of this little production going on over here, the construction materials plant, I noticed that there was actually one of the lines here that wasn't getting utilized, and it was line 3, and this is the line that takes construction materials from over here all the way out to Rugby. So that was something that I decided to implement just between episodes by just transferring one of the trains from line 2 over to line 3. And most likely I'll add another train here pretty shortly. But to go and focus on the town development a little bit, I'm going to jump into a time lapse. And we'll see where we're at here in a little bit. So I'll catch you guys in a few minutes. before you watch the rest of this video, I want to quickly mention that I forgot to change the FPS back to 30 FPS. So if you guys see that there is a drop in video quality, this is the reason why. Okay, so we're now back after that little bit of a time lapse. I decided to go ahead and work a bit on the rail as well as doing a bit of town development. So what we've decided to do here is we've put in some local lines around Biggleswade, Darwin, and Thetford. All of these now are operating with 3 buses on each side of the line. So there is a circular side, which means that, or not a circular, a clockwise side and a counterclockwise side. And so that's the way that it's going to be operating there. And that's exactly what we got going on with all 3 of these cities right here. They each have their own individual depots. I kind of think that would be a little bit better just in case we need to add more vehicles at a later date. And just so that way it just makes it easier for us to locate an actual depot. So there's that. I also decided to come over here to Ragby to do the same exact thing that we did to the other lines. And you might have noticed towards the end of that time lapse that I worked on this segment of rail over here. I've also worked on this freight line that we got as well. So the freight line actually follows alongside this road right here and goes underneath this rail bridge, which I think actually looks really nice and came out really good as well. It then comes back onto the main line here, having a little bit of a junction right after the road right here. And of course, we have the trains operating at their peak as well. Now, I do want to take a look at these stations because we got 163 heading towards Ragby, and I'm guessing that's because they all want to take the Thetford line over to Biggleswade. So we're going to get that sorted out real quick. So I'm going to need to get another train depot put in. And in terms of what type of train, that or maybe even upgrading the train itself. So I believe it's the passenger service right here. Yeah, okay. So we can go ahead and focus a bit here. Like, I think that should be fine. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Let me just think here. Yeah, let's go and get 2 more trains on that line. So, oh, not enough money. That would make sense. Get another train then, or actually modify the trains because they currently only got 3 wagons at the moment. So we're gonna add another 6-wheeler to each of these, or at least another 2, just to increase their overall capacity. That's gonna be modified for 3.3 million. And they now both have a price tag of 6.2. Yeah, that should be fine. We could also change out the train. We don't have any electric or diesel locomotives yet. If we do get electric, and it does seem like a good investment to go with electric rather than staying with steam, then I'll upgrade to electric, but at the moment we can't really upgrade at all, so there you go. I guess just looking at this right here, the A3/5 is our best bet right now, so definitely look into doing that on both of these. I'm gonna go and move the train up to the front just because we kind of need it that way. Get rid of the Badwin. And we want to do the same thing with you. There we go. 7.8 million per train. So if we got rid of 1 compartment on each, that would take up all of our money that we pretty much have. Okay. 56 is the total capacity, which I think is perfectly fine. We'll go and upgrade that right now. We don't need to worry about it too much. I just need to go and get these numbers down here at Woodstock, that is. Now, the construction materials line is actually performing really well. In fact, if we go back and take a look at the construction materials plants, go and take a look here. You can see that we got 3 icons now rather than the 2 that we had before. Because we got 30 plus now waiting on the line heading out to Rugby, and the 230 plus waiting on the line heading out to Woodstock. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of one of these stone trains, because I do notice that when they are down here at the very end, they are actually waiting a little bit. So let me go and just speed it up here. Like this train right here, if I can actually click on it, has a capacity for 64 stone. So we have 40, 50 waiting right here. So it has enough, but I think that we just need to go and space them out a little bit more. That, or even get like maybe a bit more capacity on these trains. So I might end up slowing down these trains a little bit. And then what's next on my plan is to go ahead and get some more trains on these lines. Now, the trains that we have over here, let's take a look at line 2 here. Of course, we got the Badwin with 8 state cars, and it costs around about 3 million just to go and purchase. So if I were to take a look at the train depot here, get a Badwin, and then go and get a couple state cars. We just want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, making it 64 capacity, 5.1 million. So yeah, that's not bad, but it's definitely going to be a minute before we can do that. So we'll leave that alone for now. The trains will just have to cope with that. In fact, I may just go ahead and upgrade the trains that we already have on those lines. Maybe. In fact, definitely line 2, because you need it. If I were to upgrade you to a... let's see here. If I were to upgrade you to an A35... it would cost me 2.6 million, and then adding another state car, 1, and possibly a second one after that, 3.3. But that means 80 capacity, and it still has a good speed with that. So adding another 2. Okay, so adding it to 13 total trains, which I'm not going to do, would put it at mediocre. With 12 cars on this train, it actually puts it at a good spot, so I'm going to go and do that right now. In fact, if we go take a look at the train, there it is. Let's go take a look at this train. Also, we did just get our first electric locomotive, which is the Crocodile. Has a top speed of 47 miles per hour, and we got new passenger cars. So let me actually take a look at that here. Passenger wagons. Let's take a look here. If I got rid of all these passenger wagons and swapped them out for the new ones, which would increase our top speed as well, we would have to pay 6.2 million, and that wouldn't be too bad in all honesty. 62 miles per hour capacity, whereas this one is pretty much the same, but will actually have a higher capacity itself. So 68 versus what, the 56, so we get an additional 12 more capacity across all that. I think that's good to go and invest in when the time is right. Of course, not right now, because we don't really have the money for it right now, which that's kind of expected. So we'll work on that when the time comes. Full load of 96 construction materials. And let's just see how much this is going to yield us. I imagine it's going to yield us around about... Let me just take the finances into account here. I'm going to say it's going to yield us around 2 million. I'm not going to hold any hopes for it, but I have high hopes still. Maybe not high rolls, but definitely high hopes. If you don't know what the reference that is, look up ABD illustration. Anyway, let's just see how much this guy is gonna make. Okay, he's now coming into the station. Woodstock, let's see how much you're going to be able to yield off of this train. I hope it's a good amount. I really do. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of passengers on that side of Rugby. Okay. And you go all the way to the edge. 1.9 million. That's actually really good. Bet almost as good as what I expected. I thought that it would be around 2 million. I just didn't think it would be around that much. Now we got almost 100 waiting right here. So I might want to increase the amount of vehicles that we have on this line. So we have 5 currently. I'm going to just go ahead and duplicate all to get another 5 on there. And that should be fine for now. He's going to get back on out to the main line. And let's see, what else do we got? You're also getting back out onto the main line. And you, I believe, are the one going to Wifflescombe. Okay. You might be delayed behind that train, but we'll work with it. How many passengers do you got? Full load. Okay. Definitely should consider getting another train on that line, which is kind of a bit overdue. If I went and duplicated you right now, how much would that cost me? Over, I'm guessing like 6 million. Because his condition's really good right now. What's his age at the moment? 4 years. I'm guessing it's going to be around 6.5 million, I want to say. I think it's 6.5. Let me just check that. So Steam, we want A35, and we want... I forgot to do it again. Okay. I forgot to go and put my phone on Do Not Disturb again. That's always lovely. Anyway, I want an A3/5 with 1, 2, 3, and 4 6-wheelers. 7 million. That's what it's going to cost me. Okay. I could wait for that right now, but I think that it deserves to be waited on. It does have a lot of people wanting to go towards Rugby. So I'm guessing there's a high demand of people going between Woodstock and Thetford. So potentially getting another line created that would go into Woodstock. Potentially. I'm not saying it will happen, but it could. It could. Because we do have this platform right here that can operate as both a passenger and cargo platform. So I think that would be pretty nice. I would have to connect this side though, so that would be the only tricky bit, which, let me see. I got you connected. Get you connected with a 30 right there, and a 35 right there. That should be fine. Okay. And if I wanted to connect you over to here, I would have to do some interesting magic, to say the least. Let's go ahead and take into account that about right here is where we want you to split off. Ooh, you're not going to want to split off, huh? No. Why do you not want to split off for me? Can't be too much curvature. Or it could be that. There we go. Okay, that actually looks a little bit nicer. Keep you level to the ground first. Just so that way we can get a good idea for the actual intersection. Well, not intersection, but the actual turn off here. I think 45, if I want to say. Yeah, right there. And then have you do the same thing with your friend on the opposite side. And that should be fine. A little bit of some clipping going on right there, but I think that should be fine. In fact, actually, I don't need to have that, because I can just do something like, let's see here. Can I just have you cut across, please? 35 right there. You know, do it on the opposite side of the tracks because that's going to be a little bit easier to control. Go ahead and do it with a 40 right there. That is going to cause a little bit of concern, not by much though. Get rid of this and that. Get some more signals put up right here. And get one right here. And then we could potentially just put one like right there and there. Okay. And then we want to have that right there. And we have you come straight down. We could have it connect with that cargo line. I don't feel comfortable doing that. So we're going to have it connect to the opposite side of the road here. With 45 coming down. Is that actually a decent curve as well? Or a decent slope, more like it? Yeah, a little bit steep. But I think we can work with it. And just have it come straight across. We got the deck seat car and the Vickers. Okay, oh yeah, that's right. We did unlock air traffic. So we could potentially utilize that. You know what? Go ahead and just bring you straight down to here. And because I'll most likely just have a single train on this line, I'm not going to even have it connect to the main line right here. So let's go ahead and have it come across here. I think you should be fine with cutting through. Okay, well, there's that game. Guess what? A whole bunch of your buildings are going to get destroyed. Yeah. 213,000 is actually not that much for demolishing that many buildings. So, I'm fine with that. Anyway, we can go ahead and... You know what? Go ahead and get a signal right there. Just so that way it can wait right here in the station itself. So I think that should be fine. And in terms of the actual train and the actual depot that's going to service it, I want to say the Thetford depot should be the ones to service it, since it's actually right here. And I think it will utilize the same platform as Line 5 right here that goes off towards, what's the name? Towards Darwin. I don't know why I forgot the name there. So we'll go ahead and take care of that. It's going to create another line that goes between here and there. And just like I suspected, it will utilize that same platform. Okay. It will go back onto double track right here because it shares the track with Thetford. I don't know why it's using that platform. I want it to utilize that one. There we go. That's what I want. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the vehicle created for that line. And by vehicle, we want to grab a Steam. We'll do the 3.5. And then we'll do a couple of U. So let's do 3, I guess. 6.7 million. Run the game for a moment. Just to see if we can get that right away. And yes, awesome. Go ahead and purchase that and put it on line 6. That should go automatically over to Thetford. And there we go, yep. I'm going to go and follow this train, and I think that is all for today. Oh my goodness gracious. This is a little bit longer of an episode that I'll have to end up editing. Yay. Also, go ahead and put a... Oh, I can't put a signal right there. I don't have the money. Ugh. I think all the people that decided to... Oh, they're not actually noticing. Because it's a direct connection over to Woodstock. Okay. Maybe they just haven't realized it yet? Who knows? Maybe Woodstock will be the first one between the two to actually realize it. That will be interesting. But, let's go ahead and see this train roll into Woodstock first. Drops down to 45. Going around the bend, and then it's gonna go to top speed as quickly as it possibly can, that is, and head into Woodstock. Now let's see here how many passengers it's gonna get. I don't imagine it's gonna get a lot. But definitely it should get a decent number. And I think that it might be holding up a cargo train. It might. Yeah, it definitely could be. I don't think that... Oh, there are people that are realizing that the train is here. I'm gonna tell the train to stop so that way it doesn't leave the platform. Also, do we have a train inbound? If we do, I'm hoping that's a passenger train. It is a passenger train, yes. Okay. When's the next cargo train? A little ways off. It's all the way down over here. Actually, it just left the materials plant. So, go ahead and release that train so that way you can get moving. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go and ride this train out of Woodstock here. And I'm going to go and get us into a decent view here for just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And if you guys would do me an absolute big favor, please do go and hit that like button so that way it can let me know how much you guys are wanting to see more of these videos. And I will be back with you on Monday for the next episode. Ciao for now.